Relax your face. If you are like most people, just simply saying relax your face is enough for a certain degree of tension to relax. Do you, after doing so, still feel some degree of tension? If you're like most people, you don't think anything of it. You have reached your expectations and moved on to something else. However, what do you do if you have tension in your face and you sat there and said, I'm going to relax my face, and then the tension that you were trying to let go very specifically did not let go? Is it something that you can do something about? Do you just generally assume, well, I guess my face is tense, there's nothing more I can do for it? I encounter problems like this regularly because I work with people who have tension that they don't want to have and don't know how to turn it off. I frequently have people say, Jason, how do I actually turn off my muscles? It would be pretty awesome if I didn't have to pay so much money to have you come over and set up this table and rub me and, pay my bills. Well, the answer, from what I can tell, is that our brains don't necessarily know where we are in space. When you say relax your face, you relax what you can feel, not what you can't feel. If your brain is missing pieces in where your face is in space, it's not going to do very much to relax those places. So if you say relax your face, and you let go of a degree of it, and there's some left over, what you can do is something simple, like touch your face. Just simply touching your face actually does a lot to let your brain know where your face is in space. Your brain is in the dark. It doesn't know where your face is exactly, so when you actually have that loop in your brain that sends the signal, the part where it takes in information and makes use of it for coordination, it can be dissuaded from the direction it needs to go, the amount that it needs to send to relax your face properly. How does your face sit there tense to begin with? Well, I believe it's largely due to the fact that we can't feel that our face is tensing. As soon as a signal starts to repeat, it is like the brain just starts to ignore it. With tension in your face that's not particularly threatening and not particularly causing any kind of severe pain, your brain just tends to ignore it wholesale. If, however, you have habits of tension, maybe your face is regularly scrunched up and you're not exactly sure that your face is scrunching up, all you can feel is a certain degree of pain, well, the next thing you could do is to try to introduce your brain to where exactly your face is. You could touch your forehead, and you could try to feel your hand. Your hand isn't in one spot, it's in a whole area. Your fingertips to the palm of your hand from the edges to the center, and the center to the edges. And as you're starting to feel this, your brain suddenly realizes that where it was holding it before was actually potentially wrong. And something magical happens when that takes place. I believe there's actually a reflex that happens when your brain realizes that how it was interpreting information is in error, and it starts auto-correcting based on this information. I call this a recalibration. If you are making contact with something that your brain is slightly misinformed about, and your brain suddenly has a moment of realization, then a whole bunch of tension starts letting go. Even though you said, relax your face, and your face didn't let go properly, the moment you touch your face and your brain realizes that where it was holding it instead was an error, it starts reallocating how it was letting go of that tension. Try it with your scalp. Now, maybe you say, relax your scalp first, just to give it a good test. See how much tension you let go, just saying, relax your scalp. Just sit there and think about relaxing your scalp. What actually are you doing in your brain? To me, it feels like I'm almost combing my sensations. If I inform that combing by touching my scalp, and I feel from my fingertips down the length of my fingers all the way to the side of my head. And then I have another hand available because I'm not holding a phone, and I do it on the other side at the same time, and I split it right down the center. In my awareness, I draw the sensations. I follow them all the way out to the edges. My brain suddenly realizes that where my scalp wasn't 2 inches deeper. It was actually like out here, past where it thought it was. And in the process, it actually starts to let go. This is really helpful when you get headaches a lot. If your brain can confuse where the parameters of your body are, it can be really helpful to do things to introduce them again. For example, if you get lots of sinus pressure, you can put your tongue against the roof of your mouth, and in so doing, inform your brain where the roof of your mouth is. It seems silly to assume your brain doesn't know where the roof of your mouth is, but give this a try. Put your tongue against the roof of your mouth, and put your hand on top of your head. And try to feel both places in space at the same time. Try to realize the space between them. And in the process, you'll actually start to feel things uncrinkle. If you are having a stuffy nose, or having a headache, or some degree of sinus pressure, you're actually changing the way you're holding the muscles around your head when you do this. And in the process, it actually has space to move around. Give it a try and let me know what you think.